I already made GTA 5 way too realistic with a bunch of amazing mods, but that was not enough. So let's set the bar higher, adding real-time NPC interactions, a lot of new jobs, realistic sounds, new interiors to explore, and a whole lot more, starting with Los Santos Alive. That's one of the most revolutionary mods I've seen in years, letting you speak to NPCs either using your mic or text input, and they'll reply completely unscripted while being aware of literally everything around. You can ask about anything, like how their day's going so far.
Just, trying to survive in this concrete jungle. Might grab some food later if I don't get distracted.
Or propose a ride, and they can either accept and go with you or deny.
Fine, I don't even know you, but fine, whatever. This city's full of bad decisions.
Or just ask for any location you want to go to, for example, a bank.
Bank? There's one a few blocks over on Popular, near the warehouses. Why, are you trying to deposit something at this hour?
Or ask a homeless guy what kind of stuff he needs.
Man, honestly, some dry clothes or just some cash would be way better than food right now. This weather's rough, man.
The possibilities are countless, and that's the best thing about this mod. It feels kinda weird at first being able to talk to literally everyone around, but once I got used to it, I just started randomly approaching NPCs, asking for whatever popped into my mind, just being curious what they were gonna reply. One moment you might be casually talking to a stranger outside a convenience store, and the next they're riding with you across Los Santos talking about their life, reacting to your driving, or panicking during a police chase. They can even become your partner in crime, surrender at gunpoint, or just naturally react to whatever chaos is going on around them. But I think just talking to NPCs isn't enough, and what I really want to see is more random stuff happening on the streets. And I just came across Street Riders, which is a perfect addition to the game's traffic system since most of the time it can be pretty boring. You remember that scene from the first GTA 6 trailer with the huge group of dirt bikes and ATVs doing wheelies and stuff? That was obviously inspired by real-life Miami, but those exact same rideouts happen all the time in Los Angeles too. And well, Street Riders brings that exact mechanic into GTA 5, but with its own twist. It adds biker groups that randomly spawn in traffic, doing wheelies and stunts, patrolling their neighborhoods, and riding in formations. They also belong to different gangs, so if one group comes across another at an intersection, it usually ends up in a massive shootout. So overall, it's a really fun mod that not only makes the traffic feel more alive and realistic, but it also gives us a cool new activity to join whenever we stumble across a group of street riders. The only problem I see with this mod is that the bikers crash way too much. Like, they either won't drop their wheelie in time, or they just drive so recklessly that they end up smashing into the nearest car. And honestly, watching them constantly wipe out is pretty annoying, almost as annoying as having all your game progress and playtime scattered across a lot of different platforms. But unlike the Street Riders mod, you can actually fix that easily by using PlayTracker, which is exactly what I've been doing. Instead of constantly jumping between launchers to see your stats, PlayTracker links your entire game library, achievements, and playtime into one single profile. It supports tons of platforms like Steam, Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, Epic Games, and even retro achievements. That means you can track your progress in both the new and older GTA games. Everything syncs up automatically, so you can easily see what your friends are playing, compare your achievements, and compete on the leaderboards, no matter what platform they're on. Plus, they have a quest system where you earn real rewards, including a free game every single season just by unlocking achievements and playing normally. And there's an Insights tab packed with player counts and trends, which is super interesting if you want to see what games are actually popping off right now. And I've got my official Inter Guild set up on there, and if you join, you'll earn points simply by playing GTA, Red Dead, and a few other games I picked. Top players unlock exclusive rewards, including custom profile covers I made using my modded RDR2 setup. So if you want to keep all your gaming progress in one spot and get actual rewards just for playing the games you already enjoy, hit the PlayTracker link down in the description and the pinned comment to join up. But getting back to the mods, some of the stuff we're gonna cover next involves shooting. And let's be honest, the vanilla weapon sounds in GTA 5 aren't terrible, but they could definitely be a lot better. And I think the absolute best mod out there for this is realistic weapon sounds. It replaces sounds for all the vanilla guns and over 80 DLC weapons from 23 different categories. And it takes inspiration from that iconic bank robbery shootout in the movie Heat, which a lot of people say is the most realistic gunfight ever filmed. The first-person audio feels way more powerful and punchy now, and the third-person shots are a bit more balanced while still keeping that heavy feel. But it actually doesn't stop at just the audio, because the mod also improves visual effects like the muzzle flash and tracer rounds. Distant shots have this realistic echo and delay based on how far away they are, just like in actual firefights, and stuff like grenade or rocket and C4 explosions got completely new sounds as well. Plus, the audio reverb is actually different depending if we're indoors or outside, and the bullet impacts on different materials got upgraded too, so we've got unique hit sounds for concrete, metal, glass, and so on. So it basically covers everything we can possibly think of to make shootouts feel amazing. And still on the audio upgrades, getting into massive shootouts usually means the cops are gonna show up pretty quick. So the next thing we definitely gotta fix is the emergency vehicles, and that's exactly where the modern siren pack comes in. It basically overhauls the game with current generation real-world siren tones to give you a way more realistic emergency driving atmosphere. And while it actually includes over 8 different real-life manufacturers, it comes with an auto-installer specifically for the Code 3 sirens, which is the exact one I'm using here. But if you want to use any of the other brands, you just gotta go in and install them manually. It still gives you all the 4 standard tones like wail, yelp, priority, and high-low along with proper air horns, which is huge because if we listen to the vanilla police siren right here, it just sounds super dated and flat. But after dropping the mod in, it completely changes the vibe, and it doesn't just swap out the standard cop cars because the pack is versatile for fire and EMS roles too. So just listen to how much better the regular police cruiser, the FBI vehicles, the ambulance, and even the police bikes sound right now. So as you can hear, the sirens sound completely different right now, which I think is a massive upgrade, and they honestly sound even better when you actually hear them going off right behind you in the middle of a chase. Next up is Viewpoint, and honestly, this is probably the most revolutionary camera mod I've ever used. When you're on foot, alongside the standard third-person view, it adds a new realistic variant, a brand new first-person camera, a body cam style, and even a top-down classic GTA camera. This all applies to vehicles too. You can keep the vanilla third-person if you want, but it also gives you a new car chase camera, a dynamic first-person view, a dash cam complete with scan lines and letterboxing, and that same top-down view. Switching between them is super easy because there's a new camera wheel that pops up when you hold the V key, and if you hit F5, every single camera is fully customizable. You can tweak presets, position, motion, shaders, pretty much whatever you want. Just casually walking around in first person feels incredible. It almost looks like GoPro footage, and action sequences feel way more intense, but it does take a minute to get used to the shooting though, so please don't judge me for this awful aiming. But the driving is where it really shines for me. The new third-person car camera is amazing. The sense of speed, the motion, and the way the camera reacts to the vehicle's suspension is just miles better than vanilla. I literally couldn't get enough of it and kept brainlessly driving around the map just enjoying the way it works, because it honestly feels like a completely new game. And while I prefer third-person for cars, bikes are definitely way more fun in first-person because of how the camera behaves. Plus you get this cool helmet overlay, and flying planes feels just as immersive. It doesn't stop there though, because there are new event cameras. So if you go AFK in a car, you get these beautiful cinematic shots that look straight out of Forza Horizon. And if you're on foot, it does the cinematic shots, but also triggers a random scenario, like your character smoking a cigarette. There's also a random kill cam that triggers when you shoot someone, or even when you run an NPC over. Crashing got an upgrade too, with new visual effects for minor bumps and a really intense slow-mo effect for high-speed crashes. They even implemented a stress system. It actually tracks your player heart rate and throws in effects like camera shake, FOV pulsing, and aim noise to push the immersion even further. So overall, this is an absolute must-have if you want to experience GTA in a totally new way. And the fact that you can just disable or edit absolutely anything you don't like makes it perfect. Now, to make the driving experience even better, we definitely need some realistic vehicle sounds, because right now most of the vanilla ones just sound completely lifeless. And I wish there was just one big mod sorting that whole problem out, but unfortunately, things aren't that easy. We actually gotta manually replace the sounds one by one, and while there's tons of mods available from a bunch of different authors, I personally really like the ones made by Strider V12. He did over 40 different sound mods for both cars and bikes, so there's a lot to pick from, and here's how some of them sound like. It's honestly way better than it was before, and it makes the whole driving experience much more realistic. Hopefully, Rockstar puts some more effort into the engine sounds for GTA 6 because we typically spend over 70% of our gameplay just driving around, so why not make it just a little bit more interesting with more realistic sounds? We basically sorted out the entire gameplay part, which I think is absolutely maxed out right now, so what we can do next is get a legit job, and the recently released Job Center 5 is exactly what we need. It adds a new blip on the minimap over at Pillbox Hill, and after we get there, there's a guy who's gonna help us find a job. Pressing E opens up a menu where we can pick from 5 different jobs, including 3 kinds of driving jobs, power washing, and poster placement. I picked the trucker job first, and after getting to the trucking company, it actually turned out to be way more advanced than I thought. We don't own a truck at first, so we can either grab a quick job where the company provides the truck and trailer for us, or we can actually get a loan from the bank and buy our own. Then we can even recruit new drivers to work for us, and since each driver has different skills, we gotta pick carefully. We can't just pick any delivery right from the start because we don't have the certificates to transport high-value stuff or explosives and so on, so we basically gotta keep driving and earning skill points to unlock the better-paying jobs. Poster placement, on the other hand, is a lot simpler because all we gotta do is grab a bag of posters and drive around the city to specified locations just to slap them on the walls. We actually get paid for each poster separately, so we can basically stop working whenever we want once we've made enough money. Then there's the power washing job, which is actually super detailed. So we gotta change our outfit, equip the power washer, open up the job board, pick whatever job we want, get into our work vehicle, head to the destination, and start cleaning. It's actually a really good paying gig because just for cleaning this one driveway and wall, I got over 4,000 bucks. The bus driver job is also pretty simple, but it does have a progression system. So when we first start out, we can only drive the coach and there's only one route we can pick. Most of the time it's actually really fun and relaxing because we just pick up passengers from the stops and drive from one destination to another. But it can get pretty annoying if there's a massive traffic jam and we literally can't get to the bus stop even though it's right in front of us. The mod is actually going to get updated with more jobs that the author previously made as separate mods, and that includes newspaper delivery, window cleaning, and scuba diving. And while I could keep showing you these types of regular jobs, I think we should get into a bit more of the illegal side of things with big bank heists. And I think the name pretty much says it all. It adds 6 safe houses marked on the map, and all we gotta do is enter one of them and start the heist. We get 3 crew members, but optionally we can disable each of them if we want. And when that's sorted out, we just gotta go to any bank marked on the map and start the action. It's a typical heist. So we gotta take out the security, get into the bank teller's area, find the laptop and hack into the bank's systems, enter the staff lobby, grab everything from the deposit boxes, and finally head to the vault and grab all the loot, including tons of money and diamonds. We instantly get a 4-star wanted level, so we gotta lose the cops, and when that's done, we have to deliver the loot to the garment factory, or one of the buyers marked on the map. It's definitely a much faster yet more dangerous way to earn lots of cash, which we can now invest back into our trucking company, for example, by buying new trucks for the fleet and hiring drivers to work for us. But it would definitely be nice to spend some of that money not just on the business, but also on ourselves. And that's exactly where open world interiors comes in. This crazy mod adds over 90 new enterable interiors to the map, and each one actually has its own interactive environment. That includes various types of restaurants, from fast food joints to more fancy places where you can grab some food, and there are also bars where you can take a few quick shots. We've also got gyms that aren't just for show because we can actually do some reps with the barbell, and even hospitals filled with patients, which gives off this huge nostalgic GTA 4 vibe. Then there are places like laundromats, which might seem kind of useless at first, but these locations, along with some of the restaurants, actually have illegal gang-related stuff happening in the back areas. So we can basically conduct these mini heists, grabbing cash straight out of the washing machines in the laundromats, or attacking drug dealers in the restaurants to steal their stash and make some extra money on the side. And if that wasn't enough, how about being able to enter almost 200 different safe houses? That's actually possible now with the home ownership mod from the exact same author. His ultimate goal is to make every single building in the game accessible, and this is just another mod pushing the bar higher and getting us a lot closer to making that a reality. Each house blip you see on the map is fully enterable, and as you can see, we've got 3 different colors for those blips. That basically represents 3 types of interiors, so the dark green icons are just standard mid-range apartments, the bright green blips are for the high-end mansions, and these brown ones are for low-end motels and homes. And I know it might seem a little bit disappointing that every single safe house doesn't have a completely unique interior, but come on, it's literally just one guy behind this mod, and what he's done is still incredibly impressive. Plus, it gets even better once you're actually roaming around inside because everything is fully interactive. We can pour a glass of whiskey, take a sip of beer, sit on the couch, and even change our sitting style, get some sleep on the bed, and manually set the exact time we want to wake up, or even take a quick shower. We can also walk right out the back door to get a better look at the views, which is absolutely amazing at the high-end mansions looking over the Los Santos skyline, or the ones right down by the sea. And since we still have some money left over from the heists, let's ball out and book a flight on a private jet. Private flight service makes that possible, and it's honestly probably the fastest way to travel from one side of the map to the other. It adds a new airport marker where we just gotta press E to open up a menu, and from there we can select if we want to get a cheaper light jet or a more luxurious fast jet. After selecting one of them, we get a notification that they're preparing our jet, and it's actually gonna spawn right near one of the hangars. If we get the luxury one, we'll be welcomed by a flight attendant, and once we get inside, we can drink a glass of champagne or smoke a cigar, while in the cheaper one, all we can really do is just change our seat. The author put a ton of effort into making this whole service realistic, so we get the full taxiing sequence getting onto the runway to take off, and the whole flight is based on real-life plane motions. I honestly don't think I've seen a better mode of transport if we just want to sit back, relax, and enjoy the views. And now the big question is, can we make the game even more realistic? I think we definitely can, but there's a really fine line between making that realism actually fun and just straight up annoying. For me, this combination of mods hits that perfect sweet spot where there's so much more going on, but it doesn't leave me feeling completely burnt out after just 10 minutes of playing. Of course, I might be wrong, and I definitely could have missed some great mods worth checking out. So let me know what you guys think in the comments section down below. And before you go, don't forget to join PlayTracker so you can keep track of all your gaming progress in one place.